Sports at 6 with Joe Perkins.
Good evening, I'm Louise Hartland. Joe Perkins is off tonight. 16 days after it all began, the London 2012 Olympic Games have drawn to a close. And by all accounts, they were a smashing success. For Canada, the Summer Games will be remembered for some impressive performances and surprising and devastating defeats. Perhaps none more crushing than the women's soccer team's loss to the United States in the semi-final match. But out of the sadness came jubilation as the women's team picked up their feet and went on to win the bronze against France. After days of praise and support for the squad poured in over social media, the Canadian Olympic Committee made an announcement many were waiting for. This morning, Captain Christine Sinclair was named Canada's flag bearer for the closing ceremony. Sinclair says she only wished the rest of her team could march beside her, but the grin on her face as she held the flag said it all. The rest of the Canadian team soaked up the final moments in the stadium. Some thought Canada's Rosie McClellan may have carried the flag. She won Canada's only gold in the trampoline. At UVic, the women's soccer team says Sinclair was the right choice.
Well, I am just so delighted that she has been chosen. She was my vote all along. I think she really led, by example, led the Canadian team to a bronze medal. And, against the U.S., what a fantastic performance.
It's awesome. It's great for women's soccer and Canadians everywhere. She and the Canadian women's team did us proud.
It's something that everyone dreams about. To have a Canadian soccer player being the flag bearer is just unreal, and it gives us something to work for, definitely, because it's something that is reachable for girls and soccer players, and it's amazing.
The closing ceremony wowed the crowd. More than 80,000 people jammed into the Olympic Stadium and millions watched on television. A wide variety of British musical talent entertained. The Paralympic Games are next and begin just 16 days from now with the opening ceremony on Wednesday, August 29th. Two men have been transported to Victoria General Hospital after an accident on a motocross track in Langford this morning. The Langford Fire Department says they were taking part in a race on a dirt track behind Western Speedway when they went off a jump and collided mid-air. Both men, believed to be in their 30s, were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries to their lower body. And a 49-year-old woman is recovering after the motorcycle she was riding was struck by a car in Saanich last night. It happened around 5 o'clock on Shelbourne Street in front of the University Heights Shopping Centre. The woman was driving her Harley southbound on the busy street when she was struck.
The blue car behind us here is making a left turn on a green light into the parking lot behind us and didn't take observation of the motorcyclist coming straight through the intersection, and they collided.
The rider was thrown onto the road and she was immediately treated by paramedics from the BC ambulance station across the street. The injured rider was taken to Victoria General Hospital and treated for a mild concussion and a number of facial and lower body lacerations. A 74-year-old man was driving the Camry. He was fined $167 for failing to yield to the motorcycle. And some frightening moments for late-night shoppers early this morning in Saanich. Saanich Police were called to this 7-Eleven on Burnside Road West and Harriet Road just after 1 a.m. after reports of a man waving knives. Several people were standing outside the convenience store when police say they were approached by an agitated and drunk man with 2 knives who began threatening them. The frightened shoppers ran inside the store and locked the door. The man took off.
We were able to quickly identify the subject's description, and he was located about 15 minutes after the offense happened and taken into custody. There are several charges, weapons-related charges, threats-related charges against a 21-year-old Saanich resident.
Saanich Police seized 2 knives, a folding utility knife and a long steak knife. The man was held overnight and released with conditions. The 21-year-old will appear in court in the coming weeks. And Saanich Police are warning the public after someone tried to scam a man over the phone. The 60-year-old living near Carey Road and Mackenzie Avenue got a call from an unidentified man who said he worked for the Saanich Water Department. The caller told the man his utility bill had been compromised and he needed an alternate number to pay for his water.
He did the right thing. He received a suspicious call that asked for personal information, in particular banking information, credit card information, and he did not give it out, immediately hung up the phone and called police.
Saanich Police say this acts as an important reminder to never reveal your credit card information over the phone and always keep your personal information private. And relief for the family of a missing man visiting Victoria from the Lower Mainland. As we first showed you last night, 78-year-old Frederick Vickers has advanced Alzheimer's. He disappeared from a downtown hotel Friday afternoon with the family car. Vickers was located at the Swartz Bay Ferry Terminal by Sydney RCMP last night. Victoria Police reunited the man with his family and thanked the public for looking for him. The 21st annual Michael Dunahee Slow Pitch Tournament is wrapping up at Topaz Park today after 2 days of action, all in support of Child Find BC. The bats were cracking as the kids stepped up to the plate this afternoon. The annual event is the biggest fundraiser for Child Find BC. Money raised goes towards printing costs for posters and other materials. Free childcare is provided for players.
A great turnout. We had 24 teams, and I believe there was 4 in the waiting. So it's turning out to be bigger and better every year. So it's been amazing.
Keep people believing someday he's going to come back and help prevent other children from disappearing too. And that's what it's all about. Keep families close. Just a great time.
Child Find BC says 46,000 cases of missing children were reported in Canada in 2011. Michael Dunahee went missing from the playground at Blanchard Elementary School on March 24, 1991. Thousands of tips and leads have come in since his disappearance, but Michael has never been found. It was another beautiful day on Vancouver Island, the perfect weather to go for a dip. A century ago, the Gorge waterway was a swimming hotspot in Victoria, and today more than 200 swimmers were celebrating history and taking the plunge. There were 3 places along the waterway to take part in the Gorge Swim Fest. This afternoon at Banfield Park, a vintage swimwear contest stole the show. Organizers hope the event will encourage people to jump back in and enjoy the water.
It is clean. It's one of the cleanest swimming venues in the area. The pollution counts are very low out here.
It was a little cold, but it was great. Very nice on there.
It was nice. It's really cold. It's cold once you get in, but then it gets warmer. Yeah.
The gorge used to be used for swimming races and diving competitions. It was also the site of Victoria's first swimming school. Hundreds of people were at Gyro Park today, soaking up the sun and admiring the handiwork of some of the world's best sand sculptors.
Great job.
Over 50 tons of sand is being sculpted into the imaginative creations, including this piece called Deserted Island, featuring large-scale treats such as ice cream and pies. Spectators can vote on the sculptures online at saanichsunfest.ca, and the winner will be announced in September. Organizers hope the sand art will stay standing at the park for the next few weeks if Mother Nature cooperates. Hundreds of people came out to cheer on participants in a triathlon in Sooke today. It's the 6th annual event sponsored by Subaru, and competitors from all over Canada, the U.S., and as far away as Europe are there, getting ready to swim, bike, and run to the finish. There was even a celebrity participant. The Biggest Loser Season 7 finalist Tara Costa also took part. The district of Sooke says the event is a great boost for the community. No surprise here, sponsor Bob Saunders was all smiles at the finish line. Welcome back. On the mainland now, some scary moments for passengers of a Greyhound bus yesterday after it caught fire on a highway. It happened about 50 kilometers east of Merritt on Highway 97C. The bus was on its way to the Okanagan when Greyhound officials say the back end erupted in flames, causing a major traffic backup. All 21 passengers on board were able to safely get off and were picked up by another bus. A trailer close to where the flames broke out was empty. The cause of the fire is under investigation.